What's up? I'm part of the feds. Cryptocurrencies are illegal. Cryptocurrencies fund nothing but drug dealers, terrorists, money launderers, and tax evasionists. But we don't care about Bitcoin. It's not important enough. Hey, it's Crypto Livin here, and today we're going to go through some of this news super quick because it took us all night to get this shit together, and now we're presenting it to you because that's how you gotta be with the crypto world. It runs 24/7, so we're a little bit tired, a little bit wired off coffee, and that's why these lights are kind of hurting my eyes. But I'm doing it for you today, guys, because I love you. And even when I don't get any support, response, feedback, I love what I do. And I do it because I love it, and I'm interested in it. And when I learn, you learn. And when we all learn, it helps me to move forward and do better trades. So, I'll do this news either way. Whether one person's watching, 2 people watching, 20 people are watching, 1,000,000 people are watching, I'd still do it because it's what I'm passionate about. And I suggest you take a page from that playbook as well. So, today we have this meme here about Minecraft. I used to think Bitcoin mining was something you did on Minecraft. So I wore the good old Minecraft shirt. And actually, it's getting to be Christmas and coming soon here, and we're giving away lots of gifts, especially to our loyal supporters and followers, our active commenters, and people who share our content. If we see that you're trying to help our channel and you're trying to contribute, we will give back. We've got all sorts of things like these gold-plated Bitcoins, copper-round Bitcoins, Bitcoin necklaces, Bitcoin t-shirts, hats on the way. We'll do a video here later and show you some of that gear that we're going to have coming on the way. So, moving to the news. We got to do this quick, guys. I've got an appointment in about 20 minutes, and they're going to come knocking on the door. So, this is the only major cryptocurrency afloat in the sea of red. Dash. So, dash, dash, dash. Hold your dash. Don't be tempted to sell, like me in the past. But I've learned a lot, and that's why I feel ready to share what I've learned with you, because it could help benefit some new cryptocurrency traders, for sure. Fuck you, wire transfer. You ruined my Bitcoin trade. That pretty much sums up yesterday, or especially the day before, where nobody's Bitcoin transfers were going through. You believe that higher demand for Bitcoins will kill Bitcoin? You're a special kind of stupid, aren't you? All of these memes I picked are relevant to what's going on right now and these stories that we have. New Bitcoin bubble without new Mt. Gox is not a bubble. But the thing is, when Mt. Gox did crash, it was responsible for 75% of cryptocurrency transactions. Now that the whole world uses it and it's much more mainstream and widely used, it's going to take more than a small exchange or more than even the biggest exchange that runs about 10% of the volume getting hacked to drop the price drastically. So here we have an article, trading the repeating levels, and this we will go into more depth on our market analysis video and review, but just really quick, this here seems to be like the top support line at 10,090, and the bottom resistance line here, the bottom support line is 9906, and the top resistance line is 10,090. So we got this area in between here that is our sweet spot. Again, this article, How to Explain Bitcoin to Your Parents. I'll leave this in the links below again, because Christmas is coming up. We're going to be around our family, and I know I had to explain Bitcoin to my parents, and now my dad is investing with me, and we can have those conversations and teach each other and learn together, and it's actually amazing. Bitcoin forks are on the way. Bitcoin Uranium and Super Bitcoin. Are these going to be the future of cryptocurrencies, or are they a joke? We already have things like Bitcoin Red, a lot of altcoin Bitcoins. They're not really forks, so who knows? Maybe these will be forks, actual forks. Bitcoin, why you no use? JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon, you're wasting your time with Bitcoin. JP Morgan's Bitcoin alternative patent rejected 175 times. So he tried to patent a Bitcoin alternative, and it got rejected 175 times. I just watched the documentary The Patent Scam, and for him to lose a patent like this is insane. Maybe there's been a bunch of people trying to patent it, or maybe someone else is trying to control the market and doesn't want him in on it, because they seem to issue any patents. There's patents out there for the method of using a device to communicate to another person. That's patented, so all these companies, even individuals that do that, are subject to lawsuits. So it's pretty easy to patent something. Even methods of doing things or ideas are patentable, which they shouldn't be. The revolution back in my day, if you wanted coins, you got a job, not a server. This revolution will not be televised. The beginning of the revolution was not, but now it's being televised. Do you have any guesses or suggestions as to why this might be, that it is being televised? I'll throw maybe my suggestion or opinion, is that the truth is coming out there. They realize, the people in power realize, that we're in the times of enlightenment and truth coming out. So they no longer hold back the truth, but they talk about the truth in a certain way and use the truth to manipulate the way you think about the truth. So fake news is a word they use when they talk about certain things, and then automatically your subconscious mind does not see that as real. That's just one example. A lot of times we see in the news they only focus on Bitcoin when it starts crashing. Even when it was up at 11,500, as soon as it started dipping to 10,000 and a little bit below, they were saying it's crashing and it's diving downwards. It's rushing downwards. And so they take advantage of this narrative and use it for their own benefit. A good way to see how this is done is the television series Scandal, and it follows the government in a team that their sole purpose is doing this type of thing and using the media to control the masses' opinion and the way they look at the truth. So the real Bitcoin hashing is done with Roger Ver's fists. Here we have an article. Somebody built a cryptocurrency mine in the trunk of a Tesla. And they did this because when you bought Teslas before January 2016, you got free power from their power generation and refill stations. So they were getting free power, so why not take advantage of that free power? They put a couple Bitcoin mining rigs in the trunk of the Tesla, and they were probably super, super hot in that Tesla. And the thing is, you can't do that anymore because now you only get 400 kilowatts of free electricity each year to everybody else after 2016. So basically the article goes and says at the end that you can pay for your lease of, or your payments of the Tesla if you mine Ethereum with it instead of Bitcoin. Because Ethereum uses a lot less power. So technically if you just let your Tesla sit in your driveway and didn't drive it, you could pay for that car and not spend any money to own that Tesla if you just threw a couple Ethereum mining rigs in the back or some other low expense, low difficulty mining rigs. And here's the back of his trunk right here with all of his rigs. Looks like it's an insurance nightmare. Could start a fire at any time. So I forgot to mention this yesterday, that two Redditors from the Litecoin Reddit thread vowed to eat a jar of mayo and a bottle of ketchup if Litecoin hit $100 before year's end. So if you go to Litecoin School, at Litecoin School, you can see the link for that to watch these people do what they promised. Which is kind of a good way to get attention. It's kind of an interesting way of doing marketing or viral marketing. So banks need faster payments to counter Bitcoin. This whole article is talking about commercial banks need to develop faster payment systems to counter the rise of cryptocurrencies, according to one European central bank executive. I had a conversation in the car this morning about this and how banks are adopting technologies, and if they don't, like Ripple, but if they don't, they'll fall behind. And they already are realizing, well, you can see banks are shortening hours, and it's taking longer for them to do things like process deposits into ATMs. And really, I think it's that they think they know everything, and people that think they know everything really don't learn anything new. So they kind of do it to themselves, and this is karma. This is how things even themselves out. The evil person will always shoot himself in the foot and destroy himself. So new $100 million cryptocurrency hedge fund to use Ripple. So here's another article about Ripple. We also saw that Visa or MasterCard, one of those two, is starting to use Ripple's network for cross-border payments as well. Things you cannot do with Bitcoin. You can't snort coke through a rolled up Bitcoin, can you? No. There's tons of positives about Bitcoin. Maybe that's why the government hates it. Because it's positive, it's freeing, and it can help end the war on drugs, which is very profitable to them. So Bitcoin sale, 50% off Christmas price when you buy now. So if you buy now, you'll get 50% off of the price at Christmas. Or somebody could be asking you, hey, do you want to buy Bitcoin off me? I'll give you a discount, 50% off what it will be on Christmas. Basically selling it at the current price, but giving someone that's trying to buy more incentive to buy. Making them see the bigger picture and clarifying it for them. No central banks equals no printing money equals no money for wars. Bitcoin means peace. And this is something that we've been talking about in this community for a long time, and one of the main reasons I got in Bitcoin in the beginning. Or at least I stuck with Bitcoin. You come because of the money, you stay because of the empowerment and the technology and the community and the decentralization and the security. So you're saying there's a chance? Good old Dumb and Dumber. So buy Bitcoin with a magic 8 ball. And if you ask it right now, should I buy Bitcoin? It will say, signs point to yes. Which is what I was going to say too. So maybe these 8 balls are onto something. Maybe they can do market analysis. Maybe there's better technology in 8 balls now where they can find all data points. Maybe they're connected to the internet and they can retrieve data, do market analysis, and then let you know. That'd be a cool piece of technology, or an ICO. Speaking of which, ICOs. The Federal Reserve keeps warning people that they're watching them closely. And at a recent press conference, you can find this on our Twitter, but at a recent press conference, one of Trump's secretaries, the public service secretary, or whatever she's called, was asked what she thought about Bitcoin. She then said that they're monitoring them closely. And when she was pushed further and pried further into the question, she mentioned Homeland Security. And this is the whole, crime terrorism thing that we're going to see. Anytime there's a threat to the current power structure, they look at it as war. They're probably, well, it's pretty obviously they've initiated a war against Bitcoin. Now, it doesn't mean that they aren't going to steal some of the technology and use it for themselves. They just do not want to see Bitcoin succeed because they have no control over it. And that's why I don't condone using things like Bitcoin Cash or starting to put all your money into Bitcoin Cash. Yes, it's useful for payments, for smaller payments, but come on guys, let's get real. To me, what it looks like, it's that...
It's about to get a whole lot more crowded.
To me, what it looks like is that we took a decentralized, unownable system, platform, currency, commodity, asset, idea, and put it in a world with a bunch of greedy, hungry wolves that are out there to make money and take money from everybody they can. And at number one, they want to own whatever they can. Ownership is something that humans have a huge problem with, and that's why people go and give away things that they think they need, or get rid of a bunch of things in their home for free, because we need to learn to not only want ownership of things all the time. And once we can do this, we can actually really move forward with decentralization, blockchain technology, and really let that thrive. But until then, it is teaching us, it's educating us, and it's moving us towards that. So I currently am helping my dad set up Bitcoin payments for his website so that he can accept Bitcoin. And I got a package, a folder together for him with everything he needs. So converters, all the buttons, stickers, his wallet address, QR code, instructions, articles on how to do it properly. But there is a step further that I'd like to go to, and that is have it so that each item tells you in the current conversion rate what you would pay for it. So if anybody knows how to do that other than Coinbase, because I've been trying to sign up for Coinbase for over a year, and every time I go into the input your information page, it just keeps refreshing and refreshing and refreshing. It won't let me do anything. So let me know if you have that same problem, if you know a way to fix that, or if you know another solution or another platform that offers this. I know there might be some on GitHub, some certain code you can take and put into the website. And I grabbed something from GitHub to give to my dad's developer, but I'm not sure if it's exactly that. Next stop in the cryptocurrency craze, a government-backed coin. And we're going to put all the links in the description so you can go through them and read them yourself. Like I said, we're in a hurry. We're just telling you what's out there in the news today. And it's probably better this way because, you know, some people are impatient. Russia developing global ICO ratings standard with 30 countries. So Russia's developing this standard, and we're going to see it happen more and more and more, which brings us to our next article. Why slowing ICO avalanche benefits blockchain's image. And but I do think it is good if you haven't got in any ICOs yet. Get in them now because things are going to change. The ICOs that we're used to will not be run the same way for very long. Don't be in a hurry to get in any ICOs, but if you want to get in one and you really believe in it, get in it now because you might not have the chance again in the future. Who knows what's going to happen with this? There's a lot of attention on this right now with the ICOs and the SEC issuing warnings and trying to resolve this matter. AdX, after the first successful blockchain auction for advertising space on EasyJet boarding passes, we are auctioning 1 million more ad spaces. Honestly, I've thought about this model, and it's beautiful that this is what AdX is doing. There's so many areas out there that advertisements could be put in. One of them is once we start creating augmented realities and virtual realities, inside those virtual realities, we could have a whole ecosystem of advertising, and a company could dominate that area. So there's this Medium article I'll leave in the description talking about this. Basically, AdX is holding a blockchain for millions of advertising, a blockchain auction for advertising space. And it just goes to show that if you bought AdX coin and you are invested in this platform, you have made a good decision and you will get much return on your money. These guys they're hustling. They're doing what they need to do, and they're doing it now, and they're doing it very well to the best of their ability. They're revolutionizing things, doing things that just make sense. NYU plans to launch an undergraduate course in cryptocurrencies. So we're going to see this more and more, where there's going to be programs in schools, and schools are going to start teaching this, and it's going to be a regular curriculum in tech classes and things like that. Another Ripple article. Ripple, why the anti-Bitcoin is loved by banks and hated by the internet. So the fact that they're against Bitcoin, if you watch their Ripple Swell conference, it's no surprise when you see who they're trying to sell it to. This is probably thought out for a long time, and they realize that if they take a stance against Bitcoin, they cannot be thrown into that category of Bitcoin-like platforms. They separate themselves from Bitcoin, and then because they know that banks are anti-Bitcoin, they have to play that part too, to be able to make deals with banks and have good conversations with banks, and ultimately gain relationships with them. Because banks would never start talking to people that run and help develop Bitcoin to then move Bitcoin into the platform, or at least, sign deals with Bitcoin to then fund Bitcoin. These banks are giving them money, so they don't want to fund something that will ultimately destroy their business. So with Ripple, they get to get on with new technology and catch up, and maybe not fall so far behind just yet. Bitcoin not a threat on global economy, says Bank of England. This is what they keep saying, and then they say how, the IRS is after you, you better pay your taxes, they're watching you, we're tracing your money, the Homeland Security, NSA, and then they say how, like just Trump's chief just said, they're not concerned about Bitcoin right now, but they think it's going to be very important in the future. So they keep out certain things.